going to walk you through some tips and tricks of using Blackboard Collaborate Ultra. Today I'm going to walk you through some tools and some control panels that you can use in order to make the class easier to navigate as well as easier to host discussions with your students. Now the first thing that I'm going to show you guys, the first tool or toolbar, is located down at the bottom. You'll see that it has some circles down here. Now the first circle that I want to show you guys is this little share audio icon, and it has a little microphone on it. Now when we select that little microphone, we are now speaking with our students. They can hear us, and we know that they can hear us because the microphone is moving up and down. It's moving up and down, so we know that they are now able to hear us. Now let's say that I want to show a video during my class and I don't want the echo from my home or from my office, wherever I'm teaching, to be heard. Then I can go ahead and mute myself, and I can just click on the select to mute, and now I have been muted. Now next to this share audio icon, we have a little camera icon. This is to share video. When we select this icon, when we click on this icon, the first thing you get is a video preview. So I can check my surroundings first. I can check that everything looks good, that everything looks fine, and then I can go ahead and click on share video. Now I'm sharing my video and it's located on the left-hand corner on the bottom of my screen. I'm very small here because the main area that is being seen is the content area. In other words, where I will have my PowerPoint, where I will share documents, etc., etc. Now, if I wanted to record myself, as mentioned in previous videos, I would go up to the left-hand side with the three little lines, this little tab, and I would click the Open Session menu. Now, the first thing I want to do is click on Start Recording. It has let me know my session is being recorded. I can exit this, and now I am recording myself. Now, very important that, as we spoke about in the last video, that you select after you're finished, you go back to that sessions menu, those three little lines, that tab, you open it, and you select Stop Recording. You select Stop Recording. If you do not stop recording, whether you're in class or whether you are recording yourself, then the video will not be saved. So you will have wasted all of that time speaking, but in the end, you will have no video to show for it. So very important that you click start, but before you exit, that you click on stop recording. Now, another great thing that we're going to talk about is this little control panel. It has a purple tab with two arrows, two white arrows. It's the Open Collaborate panel, so it's the Collaborate panel. When we open this, we'll see that there are a few icons on the bottom. The first looks like a thought bubble. This is the chat box. Now, this allows us to speak with everyone. This means the entire class. This, if there is more than one moderator, so more than one professor or maybe a guest speaker who you have as a moderator, you guys can speak together. Only you two, and no one else will see the conversation. Or below, you will see that students can message you individually. In other words, you can speak to a student one-on-one without any of the other students seeing. So if I click on hello, or if I click on everyone, if I click on everyone here, I can send a message to the entire class. I can say hello, I can say whatever it is that needs to be said. Now the next great tool is that next to this little thought bubble, we have two little people. This is the attendees tab. It tells us who is in the chat, who's joining the chat, who's a moderator, who's a participant, who's a presenter, because there are different roles that they can take. So right now I'm the moderator. This means that I am the one that is running this class. If you make your students the moderator, you are giving them the ability to end the session. In other words, they will end that session, they will end the class, and you will be left with nothing but just realizing, oh, what happened, right? And it's that you gave them the power to end that session. So you never want to do that. You only want to make them a participant or a presenter if they're going to be presenting some sort of presentation, some sort of chapter, any discussion, so on and so forth. So when you have their names, you can see that there's this little square here. It tells you how their experience is going. In other words, how is their connection? If this is low, you can tell students to keep their cameras off or, not turn their cameras on so that their reception doesn't hinder anymore. Or you can tell them to move to a location with better connection so that their reception is better. Now, next to that, you see a circle with 3 dots. Those are the attendee controls. Right now, the only thing I have is to make captioner. In other words, you can have someone writing or taking notes while you are presenting. You can make one student the captioner. Now, another great tool that we will use is when we scroll down this little menu, typically we can give the student a role. So we can switch the role to presenter, giving them access to present and share content. We can also mute students. There's many students that don't know how to work the Collaborate classroom when they first get into it, and they don't know how to mute themselves, and you're hearing their echo. You can go ahead and in this panel, it will come down, and you are able to do that as well. You can mute them. Now, last but not least, another great thing that attaches to this attendee is there's an icon by the little camera. It's this little man with his raised hand. He looks like he's raising his hand, and it is literally for that. When they click on this, when they select this, they can raise their hand. And you see that they are purple and their hand is raised. This will allow you to let the student know, hey, you can now go ahead and unmute yourself and you can answer the question. Or you can let them know, I've seen your hand being raised. Give me a moment while I finish this thought and then I will get to you. So great tool. Now, usually it's because I'm the only one here, but when there's more, and let's say you're in the chat box, you will get pop-up notifications of those hands being raised. Make sure to tell your students to lower the hands once they're finished, because if not, it will show continuously like they're still raising their hands, and you're gonna ask them again to, yes, go ahead, and they're gonna say, oh no, it was from before. So teach them to raise and lower their hand. Right now, if I click on that little purple icon again, that little man, I am now, with my name, I see that I am no longer purple because my hand has been lowered. So very important that you teach them to do this. Now, the last thing I want to go over is this little square here next to the 2 little people. And it has a little square with an arrow. When I select this, it gives me the Share Content tab. Now, I'm not going to get into this tab in this video because there's a lot of great tools, a lot of great content, primary content, secondary content, and even interacting tools that you can use that I would like to show in another video. So this video is just for the simple tools that you guys can use, the chat box, the attendees, raising your hand, and recording yourself. If you have any questions about any of these things, please feel free to ask. I will be more than happy to answer them.